Okay, wow, that's actually working. That's actually working. This is actually really amazing, in my opinion. I've never really gotten this to work before. Never really gotten this to work before, but okay. Well, this is a nice change from the norm. All right. So I haven't actually flown on P3D for a long time, and I'm not entirely sure how well it's going to go, purely because I have not actually done anything anyway. So what we're just going to quickly go ahead and do, we're going to bring up the ILS for runway 25. This is an airport that I trained at in reality as well. 108.50 and a course of 251. 108. Where's the navigation thing? Oh yeah, 108. 108.50. Put that on active, and then 108. Swap that around. 108.50. Okay, so that's brought up the ILS system and a course of 251, if my memory serves me accurately. So again, this is an airport that I'm actually hoping to do wildly well at, considering, well, this is where I flew, although not in a jet, which is a bit of a step up. So yes, equipment that we've got on today, we've got the beautiful Avro RJ100, and we're just going to be taking it on a couple of ILS circuits. We'll depart runway 25, we'll backtrack along runway 09, backtrack across runway 07, and take off from 25 right. Depart arrival, departure runway 25 right, there we go, and then departure and arrival, ILS 25 right, with transition start of Bravo Romeo Yankee, which is Bursa. There we go, activate, execute. So now, if we bring this up, we can see a very haphazard route, but it serves us well. It serves us well. Okay, so we've got the ILS set up, we've got the APU power running, QNH is set now, altitude reading of 770 feet. We'll stop our circuits at roughly 4,000 feet. Initial climb out. Pop the flight directors on ahead of time. Flight directors both on. Okay, so let's pop on our lights now. Ooh. Okay, gotta have them on, naturally. Taxi lights are on. There we go. And up here, I believe, are the... yeah, there they are. Beacon lights on, strobes, everything like that on. Okay. Alright, we're good for engine start. The beautiful thing about this plane is that you can actually start 4 engines simultaneously, but we'll go ahead with just 2. So we'll start with the main 2. Switch engine start to 1. Master start on. Confirm we've got power coming from the APU. APU power available. Okay. Engine start. Watch the N1 increase. N1 increasing. N2 increasing as well. Waiting for 15. 15 achieved. Moving throttle forward. Hello. That's new. There we go. Okay, pressure is rising. We've got good fan pressure. Good engine temperature. Okay, clear for start on number 2. Start selected. Start ignition confirmed. Waiting for 15 N2. N2 pressure 15. Fuel cutoff enabled. 2 more engines to go. Okay, good EGT, good N2, good N1. Alright, let's go ahead and start number 3. Engine master start on. Just set our heading bug to 251. We'll make a left-hand circuit because there's mountains on the right-hand side. 14. Enable that. Okay, lovely and good. And final engine coming online now. Engine start. Confirmed start. Waiting for 15. By the way, in case you're wondering what I'm reading, N2 is basically the turbine compressor, the secondary fan set. And you have to wait for them to spin up to an appropriate speed before putting fuel into the engine, otherwise it's just literally not going to be able to combust it properly. You're forcing fuel into an engine which isn't turning it at the proper rate, so you will not be able to get any combustion from that. But from the look of it, we are all good. Let me just disable that. There we go. Alright. Cool. Alright, so we'll set our flaps later on when we get towards the runway. Okay. Turn off engine master. Turn off engine master start. We'll switch over to engine generator 1. We'll turn off APU gen power. And we'll turn off the APU master. APU is off. All systems are good. We've got taxi lights on. Everything is good. Ready for taxi as far as I can tell. Let's go. So we'll be pulling a U-turn to the left and then taxiing out to the runway. Parking brake released. Throttling up now. Okay, let's bring her left. That's where they keep all the de-icing equipment over there. Just going to quickly load up the stream just so I can have a look if there's anything going on, making sure it actually works. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I didn't realize you'd actually connected. Hello, Frantic Matty. The Lord and God himself. Okay. Taxiing forwards. Just a little story. Back when I was doing my flight training, the teacher would always tell me to brake early and turn early, you know, not following the yellow line for taxiing. And I assumed that that was okay, that was standard protocol. But then when I took my check ride, the same instructor started yelling at me, saying to me, you know, what are you doing? You're not supposed to cut the corners. And I said to him, you're the one that taught me that. He says, well, that's a bad habit. I'm sorry I taught you. Everyone who teaches flight in Turkey has a different sort of mindset, and you have to adapt realistically to your instructor's needs and wants. It's very easy to fail a check ride, even if you do everything perfectly. It's very easy to fail a check ride purely because the instructor just has different training. So we're going to go ahead and select takeoff flaps now. Turning a right. It's very unusual taxiing out onto here without a propeller engine in front of me. Okay, there we go. A little off center. Let's bring that in a bit. There we go. So who's watching right now then? Because I've got one watching now, which I'm assuming isn't me, considering, I don't know, magic. So standard procedure for backtracking on this airport is crossing over to 07 right, and then backtracking on 07 right, pulling a left, I think, onto Alpha 1, and then taxiing onto the runway you're going to take off on. Right now we're crossing, what is this? Oh, just the holding point. But we know there's no traffic, so we'll just go directly across. Just going to quickly set something up, one moment. Crossing runway 07 left. Okay, runway crossed. Alright. 0.7 right. So the yeah, what a guy. I mean, to be honest, I wasn't the one that built a hollowed out plane today, so I'm not gonna give myself any credit for being the guy here. All right. All right. No, I'm not from Turkey. I'm from the UK. From Cambridge, Margate in Kent, technically. And we moved to North Cyprus, the Turkish side of North Cyprus, and I started training here. I finished my education here, finished college here, and then I moved on to university here as well, and that's where I started my flight school. So yeah, that's why I train in Turkey and all of that, and have the Turkish flag and so on, because I actually live in a Turkish occupied territory, which is very handy. Not very handy if you want to have DHL delivered to you, because none of Europe recognizes this side of the island, which is not very fun. How come you don't live stream? Like, do you actually live stream much flight simulation then, Matty? I'm just curious. Because I've seen that's how I found your channel in the Discord and so on with Simple Planes, but I've never actually seen you like live stream something, for example, P3D or FSX, you know, that sort of thing. Sorry, I have a quick slurp of tea. Also, I would be typing right now. There's like a 30-second stream delay because of my connection. And I would be typing right now, but my left hand, which is near my keyboard, is on my throttle. So, yeah, you may have to wait a few seconds to actually receive my response there, sorry. Let's have a look at the outside then. Just got to go all the way down there. Not that far. Which isn't that bad. And just another side question as well. How are you so good with things like mass and balance? Did you learn it purely through Simple Planes, or did you actually have something outside of it? Because I see your videos and either your learning curve went really, really sharply, or you have some background knowledge. Because you're talking about things like center of mass, center of lift. I know it says that on the thing, but I've only been to the other side of Cyprus. My PC sucks a lot. I mean, as long as your internet connection's fine, you know. I fly an X-plane. I tried X-plane once. I tried it once. One time really was all I did because my computer couldn't handle it at the time, and I was really frustrated at that, so I requested a refund. Now that I've got a slightly better PC, I would probably try it again, but it costs like 40 euros, I think. It's quite expensive now. What I mean, you say about like doing more videos and stuff, I usually do that on a different channel, but not gaming, because I upload things like flying and so on onto that channel, like real life flying. Although saying that, I've only uploaded one video of real life flying, which is kind of counterproductive to what I just said. This is a very long runway. Do I really need all of that takeoff distance? Yes, I probably do. I reckon I could make it from the next taxiway. Very reassuring to hear, isn't it? Oh, hey, Duckman. Oh, you actually came and joined. I'm just going to take off my jacket because I just had a cup of tea and I'm feeling rather warm. Duck, just as an FYI, I'm not ignoring like stream messages. It's purely because my stream delay is like 30 seconds, and my hand is on the throttle, which is why I can't actually respond. X-plane is like 50. Yes, exactly. See what I mean? It's quite a lot of money, especially if you Google the currency at the moment for the lira. You know, if you come to Cyprus, so people are always talking about, people in chat talking about SP all the time. Yeah, this is true. Alright, I'm just taking a left now. I believe this should be Alpha 3. Oh, it doesn't actually say. That's a bummer. But this in reality should be Alpha 3. I'm going to just set another notch of flaps for departure. I think we should be able to do it. I'm going to get a warning about takeoff though. Oh, why are my flaps not extending? Interesting. My flaps have decided to work. Not work, sorry, that's worrying. Hold on, let me just run a quick diagnostic on that. Just check all my hydraulic pressures are working. Yeah, they're above the minimum. Got pressure in all of them. So why, oh why, are they not working all of a sudden? Okay, alright, see you in a bit, Matt. This is rather worrying. I did let it load. Just give me a moment. I'm just going to quickly have a look. See what I can do. Let's try and pop you one. Maybe if we get some additional power through there, I don't know. PC system specs, it's a sticker on my PC. GeForce GTX 960, 16 gigs of RAM, Intel i7 760K, I think that's what it was, I can't remember exactly. Yeah, apologies for the lag, by the way, I'm just saying. Okay, APU power available, so let's try just a quick troubleshoot. If not, then I may have to reload the plane, which isn't that much of a problem for me, it will be a real quick thing. Alright, let's go to main APU power. Interesting. What if... Do I reckon... Okay, so that's operable, but why... Okay, I'm just going to really quickly just reselect the vehicle, because there's a little issue with cross-compatibility of P3D. It's a bit annoying, but I'm just going to have to select a different livery, and then everything should be fine. I'll have to restart the engines, but it won't take very long. I wonder if now it'll work. Hold on, let me get rid of this warning. It's not working. Why is this not working all of a sudden? Wait, APU gen. And we've got APU power coming up. This is a flight sim bug in itself. There's nothing that I can really do about it. There we go. Right, flap set for takeoff. Just quickly restart the engines. And purely because of this, I'm going to use the quick start feature. Got power coming in through the APUs. Engine start. Engine start. Engine start. Engine start. Oh, they're all running already. That's nice. Very handy. Thank you very much. Okay. So we can turn that off. Go on to engine gen 1. Stop the APU power. Takeoff light set. Fasten seatbelts light on. Okay, let's go. Takeoff flap set. Let's depart. I have another layer of flaps, just because it's a short departure. All the ILS frequencies are already set in. So pulling away now. I'm going to have to do something which is not particularly authorized, maybe? But you know what, we'll give it a shot anyway. How much fuel have I got? Did it reset that as well? No, that's nice. Vertical speed indicator when it unfreezes. 1200 will start 251 degrees. So we're going to have to do a left-hand circuit. Okay, there we go. Alright, holding short. We're not holding short anymore, we're holding on the runway. Okay, throttling up now. All engines alive. Brakes released. Full thrust. Takeoff thrust set. There we go. Airspeed alive. Oop, a little bit of lag. 780 knots checked. V1 approaching. V1. rotate. There we go, positive rate of climb, gear up. Gear is going up. Okay, and we're going to have to start an immediate left-hand turn, coming off of the power. Immediate left-hand turn, we'll go direct 070. Try and maintain about 130 knots, roughly. In reality, we'd maintain about 1,800 feet, but I'm giving myself 4,000 purely because I haven't flown the ILS here in a very long time. I mean, in reality, I haven't flown virtually for a very long time either. So we're approaching the other side. The runway is on our left. Terrain clearance looks good. All engines are good. So if I roll out roughly now, it should be parallel to me. Oh, there we go, there's the runway on the left hand side. Right, we'll level our climb off now. Okay. Alright, there we go. And we'll level at about 3,000. Whack on the autopilot in a moment. Autopilot on, auto throttle on, and a heading right now of 070. We'll maintain that heading 075, 076. There we go. Okay, and we're all good for the moment. So in a moment, what I'm going to do, I'm going to enable VOR lock, which is VOR localizer. We'll try and capture the radio beam, which will bring us closer into the runway. Heading select. Let's climb up to 4,000 due to terrain constraints. Go ahead and raise a level of flaps. Auto thrust working properly. Everything's good. And turn and landing lights off for the moment. Climbing up now to 4,000 feet. Airspeed's dropping quite low, but that's because the auto thrust hadn't quite kicked in. Climbing up now. Also, if Matty's back here, you said something about speaking clearly. I guess I'm just used to doing that over RT radio transmissions. Over the radio, you have to be really clear, because otherwise they will literally just not understand you. It's nothing to do with the radio, it's purely because it's just quite difficult to understand foreigners. You know, accents being a limitation. Okay, so we'll come into the left there. Alright. We'll reduce speed, 150 knots. Because realistically we don't have to be this high fast. We'll enable the VOR localizer. Init ref, approach ref, approach enable. Guess I can't do that. Nice, nice, nice. Ah, arrival. Route LTB. I don't know why this reset itself. I feel like we're gonna have to do a visual approach. Depart, arrival, ILS 25 right. Legs, activate, execute. Init ref. Approach ref. There we go. That's what we needed to see. Alright, approach enable. On. Not a clue. Not a clue who else is watching. Okay. So we're gonna make a left-hand turn now. Everything's good. Alright. Making a left-hand turn, heading 350. Selected. So we're going to get ready to approach now. Once we capture the localizer, it should be all good. So I'm just using this because if I minimize that, like for the actual ILS, I'll actually have this minimized, but for the time being, it's quite difficult. So if I look left now, runway should be down there. So I'm going to turn just a little further to 251. Just confirm that the frequency I'm using now. Can't seem to select approach. I mean, I've got 250 maybe. 108.50, 108.50. Let me just quickly confirm. Pretty sure I have the correct ILS frequencies. 108.50, yeah. That shouldn't be an issue. I'm not sure why that's. Anyway, right, VREF 120. What's this? 121 knots. Okay. So we're going to do a manual approach then, considering I can't seem to gain localizer input. I'm going to disconnect the autopilot. Autopilot disconnect confirmed. I have control. Okay. I'm going to start our approach then. So I'd say we're about 11 miles out, roughly. So we're going to have to descend a little faster. I really do not know. I'm from the United Kingdom, the UK. That's why I have a British accent. Matty asked the same question earlier on. Why am I still not getting an approach path? I should be getting an approach path, it's just that the plane just doesn't want to give it to me. That's not very nice. Alright, we'll need to reduce speed to maintain this descent. So speed brakes out, flaps extended for a sharper descent gradient, gear extended for maximum drag. I may not be able to design nice things in simple planes, but I can fly them, I think. We'll go with a visual approach. I'm not getting anything from the ILS, so okay, flaps full. Okay, pre-landing checklist, landing lights on, flaps set to maximum, gear is down and locked, 3 greens. No radio beacon service, unfortunately. We do have the runway in sight, we do have the field in sight, and we have clearance to land. Pre-landing checklist complete. Let's go. 2,500 checked. Need some more trim. Give some more power. We're going to maintain a sort of steep descent. So just a tiny bit more power. Speed brakes are back in. What we're going to be doing a touch and go, and purely because the first landing that you do with P3D will lag. It will sort of freeze for a moment, so I'm aiming to do a touch and go and then a full stop landing if I can't get the ILS to work. I'm kind of annoyed that the ILS isn't working, but what can you do? 1,000 feet checked. Still a little high on the glide. Little thrust because that's dropping quite low. Okay, there we go. We're coming onto the glide path now. 500 feet checked. Approaching minimums. On the glide slope, 300 feet. Continue land. $100 feet checked. 60. Idle thrust. And touchdown. Let the nose drop. Full thrust. Airspeed accumulated. Rotating now. Gear up. Left hand turn out. Yeah, it's more of a flight physics, and I kind of like it because it's not very intensive with instruments and so on. It's more about what you build and how you fly it, and that's what I really like about it. You can literally customize everything. Okay, pulling it now. $140 knots, turning to 2070. Military camp is down there, so we should start leveling out right about now. Oh, Matty, you just missed the touchdown, I think. I'm not sure. It depends on how delayed the stream is. Because for me, you've literally just come back. Alright, coming off the power now, leveling out the climb. Okay, post climb out checks. Flaps up 2 notches. Landing lights off. And trim set for flight. We're reaching our altitude now. We're going to whack on the autopilot again. Zero 070. There we go. And thrust. Thruster offset. Okay, good. Welcome back, Matty, by the way. If you just missed it, we've just done a touch and go on the airport. It was alright, didn't do that badly, I feel anyway. I'll do one more, I think, and then I'll come in. I really don't understand why the ILS system isn't working though, because that should be going perfectly. And it's just not working, which is kind of interesting. I mean, this place does have a full equipped ILS. Oh yay. Good, I'm happy. Ident. Okay, pause. We were there. Probably disagree with that. Okay, yeah, won't let me do that. Okay. Alright. Route. Oh wait, let me correct this. I'm doing a lot of the flight management data whilst in flight, which is probably not a good idea. I mean, VR is a different thing. Like VR is really quite complicated in my opinion. I've never really dabbled much in it, but I can definitely assume it's rather difficult. Alright, can I enable the approach phase? That'd be really nice if I could. Apparently I still can't. Okay. Arrivals. Can I change the legs? No. Okay. Well, this is rather annoying. So I'm thinking, because the plane thinks we're literally doing a go-around, it's not enabling me to enter approach mode, or approach ILS mode, and I'm slightly annoyed by that, because that should actually work, but you get what you get. We'll set that to VOR. Okay. Alright. Now we're going to bring it back around again, 350. I remember all these headings purely because we had to use them in reality as well. I'm going to whack on the localizer just in case it can pick it up early. Be very handy if it could. Both frequencies are matching. Again, it's very peculiar that it's not actually working. But what can you do? Alright. This runway should be somewhere over there. Let me just move my head forwards. There it is. Okay, so we're going to turn left now. Ooh, it's captured the localizer. That's new. That's nice. That's very nice. Or were we not on our heading? No, it's captured the localizer. That's very nice. Let's see if we can put approach path on there. What's it saying for our ref speed? 119 knots. So we'll bring that back. There we go. It's very nice that it's captured the localizer for us. I was not expecting that. So let's descend. Where's my phone? It's just vibrated. Okay. Document. Yes, yeah, that's true, document, very true. Okay, I think we're going to have to disconnect the autopilot anyway, purely because of how high we are, which is a shame. I'm actually quite happy that worked. Alright, autopilot disconnected, auto thrust disconnected as well. Going to have to do a sort of London style approach. Ooh, Matty, I wish you'd stick around just for a couple of minutes more. I will do, I definitely will do. There we go, right, yeah. Because I couldn't bear a 30-second delay. There we go. Alright, coming in now. That's a bit of a horrific turn, but we'll go with it. Can we stay on approach? That would be very nice. There we go. Right. Leveling out now. Let's put some more flaps down. Gear down. This is going to be a full stop landing as well, because it's now 1:21 in the morning. Okay. Pre-checklist. Landing lights on. Runways in sight. Gear down and locked. 3 greens. Landing flaps selected. Below 2,500, runway in sight, coming into land now. Okay, we are actually a little, well, not low actually, we're coming onto the glide path, which is quite nice. I'm wishing I had more trim, there we go. Wanted some more trim. A little to the left, so, sorry, a little to the right. Okay. Now we're a little high. Ooh, new subscriber. Welcome, Duckman. I plan to try and do this a little more in the coming weeks, at least. 1,000 feet checked. Checked. 119 knots on the speedometer. There we go. Oh, this is a very tough plane to control at low speed. Alright, coming in now. And we're on the glide path. 500 feet. $300 feet. Minimum's approaching. Continue land. $100 feet.
60, 50, 40, 30, 20.
Idle thrust. Floating a little because of ground effect. Touchdown! And speed brakes extended, manual braking. And we'll let it roll out now. Whew. That was quite fun actually, quite enjoyed that. I'd be curious to see what the replay would be like. Let me just I'll watch that back real quick. Wonder how that will look. Instant replay, 60 seconds, let's go. Let's watch it from the tower though, I much prefer the tower view. butter. I quite like that. I'm happy with that. Alright, we're approaching our last taxiway now. Slow it right down. Flaps set up. While we're slowing down though, I'll just quickly take a moment to pop on the APU gen, because that means we can shut down a lot quicker if it's already running. Yeah, it is duck mint 1:25 in the morning, which is rather late. Or early, depends on how you see it. Vacating next. There we go. So we'll be taxiing to the left. Is the APU running? Let's just quickly check that. APU power is available, so let's switch over to the APU. APU power is available. There we go. We should be running on APU. Yes, we are. Everything is fine and dandy. Go ahead and turn off our runway lights. Okay, all good. So, if you're wondering how to pronounce that, that is Bursa Yeni Şehir Havaalanı. It's actually Havalimanı, but I guess they misspelled it, or maybe I just don't know the word properly, but it's Havaalanı. So, this is the arrivals terminal. Normally we'd go, there's a set of offices behind where I'm taxiing now, and normally we would walk across there when we're finished flying for the day and just go through the terminal that I'm going to park up next to now. I once had a man come up to me and say to me, "Why is the plane late? You should be in the cockpit rather than walking through the terminal." And I said to him, "Well, I've just landed. You can't blame me for something I'm not doing." Alright, coming in now. It's a very short nose, so I don't have to go that far over the edge. It's an interesting shadow. My speed brakes didn't go up. Sorry, down for some reason. Golf Bravo Zulu Alpha X-Ray. And stop. There we go. Parking brake set. Now we'll go back inside, and we've got APU power selected, so we can just go ahead and shut down all the engines at this point. Fuel cutoff. We're all good. Thank you very much for watching, even though it was a very short sort of thing. You're probably used to it. Let me know if you'd actually like more. I don't usually stream purely because of my internet connection, but I would like to do more of it. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one then. Peace.